You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing session of the Daily African Proverbs. My name is Simon Javan Okello, and I have a special guest here with me. Today is Wednesday. It's the 2nd of March, and March is Women's History Month. So a big shout out to all the amazing women on Clubhouse who have joined us, and all the amazing women who are going to watch this on YouTube later or who are already here. Thank you so much for, just making it possible for us to be here, because without my mother I would have never been around, and without all my sisters who continue holding me down, I would have never been here with you today. So today for the Daily African Proverbs, my guest is Chioma Sheri, and she's an amazing writer, poet, creator, and we are excited because every Wednesday for the Daily African Proverbs, Chioma takes the proverb that we have and turns it into a poem. And I can't wait for other topics that we are going to talk about. For example, we are going to talk about what this proverb means to Chioma. We are going to talk about, a story from her childhood that this proverb reminds her about. And then we are going to talk about Women's History Month. What does Women's History Month mean for Chioma? And then finally, we are going to learn how you, our viewers and listeners, can stay connected to Chioma. So I hope you're all doing well. And I want to invite you, if you're on YouTube, please share the link to this live stream with your community and share with us in the comments what the proverb that we are discussing today means to you. The proverb says, "Your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back." Your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back. This proverb is, one of the best proverbs in Africa, I think, or in our culture. I just love it because it challenges you to think, similar to many other proverbs that we have here, wise African proverbs, that the hope is after this 1 hour discussion, you leave with something. You leave with a bit of wisdom, from our ancestors that you can share with the world and just ground yourself in. So Chioma, I want you to share with us, just before the poem, first, how are you doing? And when you hear this proverb from Equatorial Guinea, what comes to your mind? Your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better today. Thank you always for this space. I really love this space, Simon. Thank you everyone who's here on Clubhouse and on YouTube. I see M. Jewel. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. This proverb was actually really interesting for me, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, simple. I was like, yeah, your beauty won't get you far. It's your character that gets you farther. And then I read it again. I said, wait, that's not what it says. I got like a whole new revelation. And I read it back, and it was like, your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back. And I was kind of stuck because I was thinking, it's oftentimes hard to go to a place, right? So that journey to a place, or that journey forward to a place, is oftentimes hard because you've probably never been there. And I was like, going back home, like, you already know the way. So it's simple. And then I was like, I had asked myself, I was like, when is going back harder than going forward? Or when is going back harder than going maybe a different way? And what came to my mind was, when going back is maybe going back to your home, maybe going back to a tough space or a place that was uncomfortable because you were called to like do work there, or maybe going back isn't necessarily just going back to a physical space too, but it's also to like a spiritual space, like back to your heart space, back to your truest self, back to yourself. And when I think about that kind of work or that journey back to yourself, like that healing work or that shadow work, if you call it, like that is not at all like simple, and it's not like glamorous or beautiful. Like I'll put quotes on that, beautiful to maybe like, I guess like the outside world or whatever. So when I see this proverb, like that's something that I think about. And I also like thought about this space that we have here, this room that we have here. To me, it's the most beautiful thing ever. To the people that are here, I think it's so beautiful. But it's not like glamour. It's not the hot thing. Not everyone's like, oh my God, daily African proverbs. They should be, but they're not. But like in this space is so much character. You know what I mean? So much transformation. And it's being in a space like this that to me is back. It brings me back to myself, back to my roots, back to like why I am here, back to like things that I'm called to do. So like when I look at this proverb, I'm just like, wow, this is real. Like, yeah, your beauty will take you there to whatever that space is, like all the performative stuff, the like surface level stuff. It'll take you there. You keep doing it, it will definitely take you there. But it's character that will bring you back to a place, back to a place that's like, maybe not the most glamorous work. So that is what this proverb made me think about. And I'm complete right there.
Yeah. Wow, I think that you're getting better. I feel like I'm now your student when it comes to interpreting this proverb. You got my attention the entire time I was just listening. I think this is the first time where I was, just appreciating your perspectives on this. It's true, and I think it applies to life in general. When you're born, you're so beautiful, and everybody's, just treasuring you everywhere. But once you get to an age where people expect you to step up, your character, your character will see you through life, so that by the time you're back to the age where you cannot do things for yourself, it's your character now that just, allows you to get the support that you need, So again, beauty comes at the beginning and at the end in this proverb. Yeah. Anyway, for those who are joining us on YouTube, I really appreciate it. This community has been growing day by day, proverb by proverb, and today some of the things that I'm hoping you will take away. Number one, I feel that the Daily African Proverbs actually curates the best proverbs on a consistent basis since January 2021, and it's something that I was, just like you're saying earlier, that it's one of the spaces where you really can engage deeply with who you are, and in a way that you feel safe, but in a way that you also know that you are dissecting ancient proverbs that are not new. We are just having conversations that our parents literally had with each other. For me, it's so direct because my mom used African proverbs a lot. And the hope is that my kids can also one day be able to listen to these podcast episodes and find solutions to their problems using proverbs, and so, that's the hope. I want to encourage you, if you're on Clubhouse, please remember to ping in 3 to 5 people to join us in the room. Feel free to clip the room and share it on Twitter, and join us on YouTube, and let's continue with today's amazing conversation. And now I want to ask you, Chioma, just take us back a little. With every proverb, especially for the Wednesday sessions, I normally ask that you share with us a story from your childhood that this proverb reminds you about. you know. And you can tell any story. You don't have to actually tell a story from your childhood that this particular proverb reminds you about, but feel free and take your time.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was like, it's always interesting. You asked me a story from childhood. For some reason, I'm like, why is this difficult? But I think for this proverb particularly, I it resonates more as I continue to like journey as like an adult. However, it brings me back to things of my childhood, if that makes sense. So a few things that this proverb made me think of is just like most recently, like when I got my new job, like I was so like excited and just going through the process, and then I started to like kind of get a little jaded and also start to like question like, why am I here? I was just like, wait, why am I here? And it was talking to one of my coworkers, who's also black, that kind of like brought me back to myself and back to the reason why I'm in this space, to make me not to forget like the vision. So that's like one moment. And also it just made me think of just like all the times like I've tried to just get to a place, whether that be like a job or whether that be like when I was applying to like a program or anything. I think sometimes during that process, you can start to lose yourself. And then sometimes when you get there, you start to lose yourself. You kind of forget. And it's weird because I feel like even more so as an adult, like I'm being reminded of like the things that I dreamt of as like a child, or being reminded of like my core. Like even talking to you like before the session today, I was like, oh my goodness, you reminded me of things that I thought of when I was younger. So to me, I think this proverb really just kind of like really brings me back to myself. It's a reminder to really kind of like get real and to really like try not to forget, and also encourage me to like continue to like be in spaces that help me remember and bring me back to myself and the things that like really matter. So hopefully that answers kind of your question.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, and as I was asking this question, especially today, I realized that I ask all my guests this question, and I don't know why I ask it, but normally I share my story around why, especially, and I feel that everything has a beginning, and so
Mhm.
I love sharing my beginning, and this proverb actually speaks about that,
I think so too. And even
Yeah.
your interpretation speaks on
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Like it has a beginning. And like even when I was talking like thinking about it, like going back to the beginning. Like what was that? Like what's your nature? What was that beginning for you? So yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, at the beginning of the show, I spoke about this month being Women's History Month, and I wanted you to just share with us, why Women's History Month is important to you. Who are some of the women that you want to give a shout out, who are with us right now? Who are those that are not here with us right now? Just take a moment and celebrate Women's History Month with us.
Okay. It's so interesting because I feel like I probably haven't appreciated Women's History Month as much as I have like others, or I don't oftentimes think of it as like as much. And I think it's because like I've always kind of had like this American or like Western sort of like view of like Women's History Month, and like just thinking of like history and just like particularly history in the US. um Black women of color were oftentimes like left out. So to me, like Women's History Month sometimes almost felt like, White Women's History Month, or it didn't seem as inclusive. So I think this Women's History Month, it like pushes me to really kind of like go against that. So highlighting, Black women, highlighting all women of color, and also just thinking globally, like, hey, it's not just American women here, it's so many women across the globe, thinking of African women, right? So like what are their struggles? What are the things that they've gotten through? So I think Women's History Month is definitely encourages me to kind of like see beyond this sort of like, I guess, like American context or whatever. And it also encourages me to really like appreciate the levels of identities that we have, because we just left like Black History Month, right? And I'm Black. And now we're in Women's History Month. I'm woman. And then we're gonna have LGBTQ month coming up soon. And like there's other layers, like there's people who fit all that. So it's, for me, it's just like a recognizing like our so many like identities and the things that we kind of go through because of these things. So yes, that, and so the women that like just come to mind right now that like I would shout out. I'm gonna shout out Marla Harris, who's here. I love you. Like you are women history, okay? You are Black women history. I appreciate you and what you do. I also want to shout out my mama, my grandmama. They're all a part of Women's History Month. They've done so much. I also want to shout out the poet. She's definitely passed on, but Maya Angelou, like I was just been reading her work like this past month, and I'm like, this woman. I'm like, who? But there's just so many women like I could shout out, but those are the ones that I'm just going to shout out right now. But yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, what you said about Women's History Month reminds me about Africa Day. And many holidays, you definitely feel like this is a white holiday. And so it takes a lot of courage to sometime even own something that you need to own and be a part of, like it's only 4 years ago that I began being involved with Africa Day and feeling like, I need to be celebrating Africa Day and being a part of it.
Simon. Yeah. I love what you just said there. You said like to own it. Like, yes, like this is our like month too. Like we can celebrate this as well. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I agree. Anyhow, welcome to those who are joining us, our friends and family who are with us on YouTube. Thank you so much. Your support is deeply, deeply appreciated. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're on Clubhouse, the link to the YouTube channel is at the top of the room. We are currently there with quite a few friends, really. And, I'm seeing a lot of chats. For example, M. Jewel was saying here, the truth will eventually surface, and no matter what you look like or appear to be, it will not be enough. And I'm just looking at Mala Harris. He's saying, wonderful Wednesday family, so happy to be here with you all, and here Chioma, and Simon and all who share. Yeah, Mala was my guest this Monday. Mala, thank you again so much. It was beautiful, just being with you and learning more about you and just building together with you. And Mama Yama is also with us on YouTube. Thank you all. I'll continue reading some of the comments there, but I just appreciate the support. And if you're on Clubhouse, please remember to, ping in 3 to 5 people to join us into the room, and also raise your hand so that we can hear your perspective. We want to learn a little bit from you. Chioma, I learned that we haven't had the poem. This is my favorite, part of the Daily African Proverbs on Wednesday. I was like, you can't eat, if you're eating in Kenya, you can't eat ugali without an accompaniment. Ugali is like cornbread, So anyhow, I just wanted to say that you have to have an accompaniment, and the Daily African Proverbs accompaniment is the poem, especially on Wednesday. So let's hear that briefly, and then we will continue on with our conversation. For those who are joining us for the first time, in 10 minutes, my interview with Chioma is going to, slow down a bit, and we are going to hear the voices of everyone on stage. And Chioma will be taking notes and sharing a summary of what she had at the end of the conversation. And also she will be able to share how you can stay connected with her and how you can support her amazing work. So Chioma, I'll pass you the mic for the point.
Okay, before I say the poem, I just kind of like want to shout out, I think, a couple people on YouTube. I just want to thank you, Waitzel, for being here. And M. Jewel said that I've always adored Miriam Makeba, and I agree. I love that so much. Okay, now the poem. All right, so the proverb again is, your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back. All right. I wiped my face, I combed my hair, rehearsed my lines, went up the stairs. I knocked the door, they let me in. I took my seat, then we began, talking skin deep. They loved my story, complimented my smile. I got the thing I've wanted a while, roped in skin deep. I finally made it to a place that I dreamed. To the world, I'm a winner. Soon my soul starts to scream, only skin deep. I wipe my face, I comb my hair, I speak my truth, go down the stairs, passing skin deep. I finally made it back to my why. To the folks that are confused, if I feel the need to, I reply, this work ain't skin deep. Your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back, back down to the root with hands in the soil, reaching soul deep. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Chioma, that was really good. That was really good. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. We will hear what people have to say about this. I don't want to say too much about it. I just want to appreciate you so much, for sharing your talent with us. That's a powerful poem. And I want to just create space for a moment so that we hear from Langston briefly and Makuba. And I would love for you to share this poem again at the end. Is it called Skin Deep? Is that the title?
But I think I probably would.
Now that needs to be the title. This is a song, it's a song too. I could see, us adding a beat there and just getting people to dance skin deep. Anyway, Langston, how are you? Share with us where you're joining us from, and also your perspectives on today's proverb. Thank you again for being here with us today.
Hello. I actually did not see the proverb. I'm going to look at it myself.
It's the proverb says,
Stop.
yeah, your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back.
Okay. Okay, can you go to Makuba?
Oh yes, no problem. We'll come back to you, and thank you again for being here with us. Just quickly before we go to Makuba, again, for those who are on Clubhouse, thank you so much. I would really appreciate if each one of you would ping in 3 to 5 people to join us for this conversation, and also share this conversation within Clubhouse and also outside of Clubhouse. And join us on YouTube. Join us for on YouTube for a moment, so that you can actually directly connect with us. So you can, there's one thing about voice, but there's another thing about knowing who you're speaking to. Because for me, my intention is to build a community, to build long-term relationships with people that are a part of the Daily African Proverbs, and YouTube is one way of doing that instantly. So again, thank you for everyone who has already subscribed to the channel. It means a lot. Now we want to continue on to Makuba, who is another amazing, leader. Makuba, I don't know if you're back in Africa or if you're in the US, but share with us where you are and your perspectives on my conversation with Chioma, the poem, and also today's proverb. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. I'm back from Cameroon after a 2.5 months hiatus. So I am calling in from Georgia. I do love Choma's poem. It was very deep, especially the aspect of digging your hands in the soil. So the proverb today, your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back. In our African culture, this reminds me of the significance of beauty. Usually, it was always towards a woman or the harvest in the agricultural sense of the word. When the farming would take place, you would plant. If the right characters for growth are there, you would have a beautiful harvest. You would taste your yam or your corn, and you would either enjoy either your porridge yams or your ugali, which in Cameroon we would call fufu corn, because the taste and character of that food is so rich because of the right environment. But when you're looking at beauty in terms of a woman, and this is very significant because you're talking about Women's Day, this brought me back to how we do our traditional marriages. And our traditional marriages are very long. Um, the groom comes and he introduces himself and his family that he has an intention, which in the United States would call some like an engagement. And then they do the traditional. And during that time, it seems they're testing the character of the woman, her family loyalty, her ability to interact with children, and so forth. And then also the values of the culture in which the man she's going to marry. And so while they've attested her beauty to make that intention to her, her character has betrayed in such a goodness where they seal it with the traditional dances and the palm wine and the kola nut. So I thought that this proverb was very unique because even in today's society, where beauty and advertising, everything is around you need to look this part and you need to have this shape of eyes or this shape of hair or this shape of a butt. But the bottom line is, once you open that door, is your character going to be able to sustain you in that environment and impact people positively? This is Makuba, and I'm done speaking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Makuba. Yeah, I appreciate, everything you shared with us. Very deep and very wise. So thank you, and thank you for all the work that you're doing. I know that you organize trips to the continent, and you do a lot of things, in terms of the work you do to impact the community in the continent. So I want to create space so that we can learn more about some of the things you're doing when you're in Cameroon this most recent trip. So I hope we can connect and also talk about Africa Day, which is how we originally met. So thank you again for your contribution. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Simon. I look forward to it. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. And Mala, how are you doing? Thank you again for your support with the Daily African Proverbs. Please share with us your perspectives on the conversation we are having today with Chioma, and also your thoughts about today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. The proverb says, "Your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back." Thanks a lot.
Good morning, Simon, Chioma, everyone on the stage. Well, great day because we're all around the world. When I think about your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back, this idea that beauty kind of speaks in the way that it's laid out, beauty speaking to like a destination, whereas character speaking to sustainability guidance or more the GPS, right? Because like one thing is housed in the other, right? So like our outer container is ever decaying, right? We are, changing, growing, expanding, contracting, that is not, it is not sustained. What you look like at 6 is not 16, is not 61, and nor should it be. And in this society that puts so much focus, and especially when we look at these social media and the ways in which our image and, this idea that of attraction, of what attracts a person, and that thing not being consistent over time, leaves one to kind of be beholden to those that find beauty in the outward, whereas character doesn't decay in the same way. meaning if this is who you are, and you know, beauty can be performed. I can put on mascara, I can contour my face, I can put a girdle on, I can do all these things, and they have their place. It's not bad. However you want to adorn yourself or present yourself, but sometimes there's more emphasis in the adornment of the outer versus the inner working, and how you show up in the world. Speaking to what Sister Makuba, you know, started to elevate, and I think that you can get a place, great, but can you stay there? And can you find your way back if you get off course? And it is your character and who you have become and what you stand for and what is important that will hold you. You know, because anybody that's attracted to just your beauty, at some point there'll be another beautiful thing to you know, relish over or fawn over. But when you're really attracted and connected to the heart, to the character of a person, you're able to find tribe and community and almost never be alone. Some of the most beautiful people struggle with mental health and self-image because they're so fixated on keeping and maintaining a thing. And I think that there could be a better investment, because beauty also radiates out. And so that inner work, you know, is so vital and so important, because also how we see ourselves, like we only get to see ourselves in mirrors and reflected back to us or in pictures. And it would be a shame that the way that we live, which is inside of ourselves, is where we invest less. So those are the things that I'm sitting with this proverb.
Wow, Mala, that was really great. Thank you so much. I feel like sometime with the Daily African Proverbs, I'm like the boy who starts the fire and then runs away once it gets too hot, you know. Because I really bask in the depth of wisdom that is shared in this room. So I really appreciate it. If you're joining us on YouTube, welcome and thank you for joining us. We do this Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't, and also share the link with your community members if you feel that this conversation that we are having needs to be heard elsewhere. And also, if you're on Clubhouse, please remember to ping in 3 to 5 people into the room and follow the African Father in America Club. If you already do, please nominate your friends and community members to be a part of the club as well. And now I want to hear from Tess. Tess, how are you? Happy Women's History Month. Share with us your perspectives on this proverb from Equatorial Guinea. It says, your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gratitude, and peace to the room. I hope everybody's doing well. I am well. I am happy. And I really loved, I know I walked in when Mala was speaking, and I really loved your share, Mala. Thank you for that. So when I think about beauty, for me, I think of charm. And there's this quote that always, when I think about beauty and charm, it comes to my mind. And it says, charm is a way of getting the answer yes without asking a clear question. And we see that all the time. It works for a lot of people. Your beauty, how you present yourself, your charm, it will get you a yes even without asking. But how do you retain that yes? How do you maintain that yes and move it forward? How do you keep that door open that your charm helped you get through? It's your character, it's your brain, it's your integrity. So yeah, your beauty will take you there, but what keeps you there and helps you build is your character. That's all I have to say for now. My name is Tess, and I'm done speaking.
Yes, Tess. Thank you. Thank you very much. And, for also just blessing us with your wisdom as well. It's true. It's true that there's no shortcut when it comes to what takes you there. I want to move on to Fred now. Fred, thank you again for your continued support. I hope you're doing well. Share with us where you're joining us from and what your perspectives are on today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea. Thanks again, Fred.
I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully everyone is too. When I saw this proverb, I'm gonna go to my godmother, who I never forget what she told me this years ago when she was teaching me how to really look at well, when I chose women, because she used to tell me, "Boy, you got a bad taste in women." When I was young, I was like 12 or 13 and all that, and she told me a story that when she was growing up, she's dark complexion, and you had the lighter complexion women, different ethnicities and all that. And she said that growing up, they worked on her character, while the others worked on their beauty. And it always stuck with me because I kind of knew what she meant. And I started looking for character. It was that feeling that there was so many elements of a good character. As I got older, I was taught that character is really caring about how you act or how you project yourself, how you live your inner being. Because that beauty was a temporary thing, and that character lasts. And on myself and different, I knew I came with aspect of beauty and somebody beautiful.
Hey,
The
Fred.
beautiful, I started.
You seem to be breaking a lot. I'm not sure why. And what you're saying is really profound, and I would love for us to really get it. So come again, please, if you don't mind. I think you got out of the room and it should be better now. Try it one more time. Thank you so much.
Is that better?
Yes, you sound much better. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know where I left off, but
just start from the beginning if that's okay with you.
Oh, really? Okay. So when I was young, I think I told a story of when I was younger, my godmother told me when she was younger, she had to work on her character rather than beauty because being a darker complexion woman, where in the area we grew up, most men looked at the fair skinned women. So she had to work on her character, meaning she had to build up different elements within to stand out. And I didn't really know what character meant, but I knew it was something internal you had to build on. There was a strong foundation to that. And because she was teaching me how to really uh, observe and choose women. But I was young when she told me this. So as I got older, I was taught the definition of character, caring how you act, caring about who you are from within, being of good character and helping people and all this kind of stuff. And later on, I had two different definitions of someone having beauty and somebody being beautiful. That beautiful aspect is something that of an internal appreciation. I would walk up to somebody, like Chioma giving a poem. I mean, like if you felt that poem, like Chioma, that was a beautiful poem. That was beautiful. A different essence of within. So that character, long lasting, strong foundation, because we all know at some point, coming from the physical standpoint of beauty, it'll fade, but the character won't. That's all I have.
Yes, totally true. Totally true. I can't wait for to hear what these notes that Chioma is taking contains. And now we want to move on to Ahadi. Ahadi, how are you doing? Share with us where you're joining us from and also what today's proverb from Equatorial Guinea means to you. Thanks again for being here. Excellent. I think Ahadi might be away from her phone, so we will move on to brother. Hey, Ahadi.
Oh,
Hi, how are you?
hi, sorry about that. I would I like the way Makuba put it across, especially because I feel like it took me back to the one-liners that my auntie gave me before I moved to the US, and I'm from Kenya. And so when she talked about the traditional wedding, I did do a traditional wedding. And I think one profound thing that my aunties told me when I was moving here, they say, don't forget you are Aduruma. And those words stuck with me because I think I have thought about them for a very long time, and I've come to the realization they were talking about when I see the proverb and it talks about beauty, it's more of the surfacey and the outward things that you can build for yourself. But then when it talks about character here, that character is what will bring you back. It's more of the inward things. It's more of that statement. Don't forget you are a Duruma. What does that mean? It's like, how do you treat people? It's the foundation of your being, your culture, your heritage, the things that define you as a person and your origin and what has built thousands and thousands of generations and has sustained lives. And it's that thing that you cannot put a price on. It's when you look at the way a certain set of people treat, a community, how do you live as a community? What kind of foods do you eat? It's like just the simple things. Those are the things that ground you. And I never thought about it until I got here and I started to realize, oh, these things are now starting to come to life. Like the way I talk to people, it's very different. And that's because of the foundation I've had all along. And so it doesn't matter what degree I have, it doesn't matter how well I become, I get to talk or what, all these things. The foundation of it will determine who and what kind of a person I am. So anyway, that's just my thought and how I got to saw the proverb. Thank you.
It's wonderful, Ahadi. Yeah, it's wonderful, and I can completely relate to how your mom. I believe it was your mom that said to you, "Remember, you are a Doroma," and I remember similar just similar advices, not even just from my mom, but even relatives, when they hear that you're traveling, even long distance, not even abroad, they give you, just one statement that sticks with you forever, Anyhow, thank you
Yeah,
again.
thanks.
Brother, how are you doing? And share with us, where you are and your perspective on today's proverb. This is a proverb from Equatorial Guinea, and it says, "Your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back." Share with us your perspectives, brother.
Peace and love, family. This is Brother Earth. I'm from North Carolina, and honest to all those who spoke before me, there was a lot of beautiful insight. And what I would add to the conversation is I kind of been moving around, but and a lot of people were saying, beauty is on the skin deep, and that's what the elders used to say. Beauty is on the skin deep. And then it's another saying that they would say is your attitude determines your altitude. And your attitude and character line up with one another. And understanding that life is a marathon, right? Or it's a long distance journey. And if you look at it like a car, your beauty is the gas that you have in the car now, but your character is the credit card to get you back home or wherever else you need to be. With that, I say, I come in love and I leave in peace, Brother Earth.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. I love what you shared with us. Deborah, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Share with us your perspectives as well, please. Share with us where you're joining us from as well.
Hello, I'm joining from London. My take on the proverb is that I think sometimes I've had a couple of different perspectives run through my mind listening to what people have been saying. And my perspective has been sometimes your outward your outward, your exterior, your beauty, your physical beauty will take you to a particular place, will open that door for you because people like the look of you. But your character bringing you back is, to me, your character. If your character is not good, it will send you right back to where you started. So it's important that, as brother was saying, that they line up, that they match up with each other, your character inside and your character inside and your beauty outside. I work in the beauty industry and I work with a lot of beautiful people. However, the character doesn't necessarily line up with the aesthetic. I think in growing as a person, you lose the importance of that outer beauty when meeting people. What used to attract you to a person changes over time, and you start to recognize the inner beauty and the character of that person. And to me, as vice versa, if the character of a person is ugly, it doesn't matter what they look like on the outside, they're ugly to me. So that's just my take on it. I'm landing my plane.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Chioma, what are your thoughts so far? What are your thoughts? And before you share that, I just actually want to welcome everyone who is joining us for the Daily African Proverbs for the first time. It means a lot. This is a space that, I love it because I gain, wise proverbs, I get wisdom quotes that I use even in conversations. I was at a panel discussion for Black History Month this Sunday, and, I shared one proverb. The proverb I shared during that conversation was around, if you want to know that, you can make a difference, spend a night with a mosquito, because that mosquito will make you sleepless. You won't be able to sleep at night. And it was just quite, amazing for me how I was able to use that to describe a situation where, we were talking about Black impact, and how Black people have had an impact here in Seattle particularly, and how Black people have been very stubborn no matter how challenging the situation has been. No matter how heavy gentrification has been, they've always found ways of bouncing back and being stubborn and staying relevant. And so, I found that proverb to be interesting to use to share what I wanted to share. So for me, I look at these proverbs that way as well. Anyhow, I just want to invite you to support this movement by following the African Father in America Club here on Clubhouse, and also ping in 3 to 5 people to join us for the remaining parts of our conversation, because Chioma is just about to share the poem that she created out of this proverb. And then I also want to invite you, if you're watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe, remember to push the thumbs up button so that when we go live tomorrow, and the other coming days, you will be notified, and also you can just stay engaged with some of this work that we're doing. Thank you again so much. And Chioma, share with us your thoughts on what all our friends and audience members were sharing with us, and also share with us how we can stay connected with you and how we can support your amazing work, and then share with us the poem to wrap up the session.
Before I start, I just want to make sure I see a Darren in the room. Does she want to share?
Yes.
I don't.
Oh, Darren, how are you doing? I'm sorry I missed you. Please share with us your perspectives and where you're joining us from.
Hey, good day, everyone. I'm coming in from Chicago. I did hop up late, so yeah, that's on me. I have a couple of things that have always come to mind when I consider beauty. That one, it's this accident that works in the favor of those who happen to have it. That it's not this thing that, yeah, it's impossible to claim ownership over it. And if anything, it's this thing that is consumed. So the owner of beauty isn't the person who's necessarily experiencing it, but it's this thing for others to enjoy, take advantage of, or want to be near. So I look at this as a case where beauty acts as it's the invitation. Um, it can be the visa into spaces, whether earned or unearned. And then it's now the individual who's in that space to either feel comfortable in it, accepted into it, or to feel like an imposter within. And I guess when considering the idea of beauty will get you there, character will bring you back, I look at it in two ways where for the person consuming the beauty who made assumptions about the beauty being a lot of things that are positive, there might be a character then that goes against the mirage that they had already, taken in and were enamored by. And then for the person um, being in a space and feeling as though it's unearned, but aware that the way that they were being consumed brought them there, that imposter syndrome being the thing that works to their demise, to then take them back out of that space or whatever. And yeah, those are my thoughts about this proverb. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Darren, for your perspectives. Chioma, I'll pass you the mic.
All right. So there's just so much to share. First, I just want to say I love how Deborah closed her her interpretation. She said, I landed my plane, or my plane is landed." I love that. I've never heard that, so I was just like, I have to shout that out. So I feel like I got so much from so many people, so I'm just going to just go through some of the things that I highlighted. So from Makuba, said beauty can open the door, but once you open that door, can your character sustain you and impact people in that environment? Marla said beauty speaking to a destination, but character speaking to what's sustainable. She said it's our outer container. Beauty is our outer container, and that can decay, but character does not decay. It's our character that will hold us, and it's also our character that is like it connects us to other people as well. Tess said charm is the way of getting the answer yes without asking a clear question. How do you maintain that yes? How do you keep that door open when your charm helped you get through? What keeps you there is your character. Fred talked about how character is our inner being, character is long lasting, character is our strong foundation. Ahadi said, character is how do you treat people? It's your origin. It's what has built thousands of generations. It's the foundation that determines the person we are. Brother said, your attitude determines your altitude. I really like that. And reminded us that like the character is really like the inner parts. I like the car analogy that you did. How like the beauty is just kind of like the gas, but the character is really that inner parts that really gets us there. Deborah said, sometimes your exterior will take you to a particular place, but if your character is not good, it will send you right back to where you started. Your beauty and character needs to line up. Darren, I really like what you said, how like beauty is an invitation. It can be a visa. Now it's for the individual to feel accepted or feel like an imposter within. So yeah, those are the gems that I took. And I also from Simon, I still loved how you said beauty comes at the beginning. And you kind of talked about how like what gets us through life is really our character. And at the end of life, once we lose that sort of outer beauty, it's that character that then like brings like allows us to get that support that we need. So I really thought that was beautiful. So before I get into the poems, I guess ways that you can support me. I'm going to take a note from Marla. I love what you did. Ways you can support me. You can support like just like women's spaces, Black women's spaces, especially like this month. You can support this space right here. You can support spaces that like you really just want to see more of. Support Simon and his book that's out. You can pre-order his book out now. You can also just support me by following my IG at chioma.cherie. You can support Camp Jameson in Philly. You can support Girl Trek, which is nationwide. You can support the Knowledge House in in New York. There's just so many things that you can support. There's so many like communities and organizations. So to support me is to do that. And now for the poem. All right. All right, so the proverb again, your beauty will take you there, but your character will bring you back. All right. I wiped my face, I combed my hair, rehearsed my lines, went up the stairs. I knocked the door, they let me in. I took my seat, then we began, talking skin deep. They loved my story, complimented my smile. I got the thing I've wanted a while, roped in skin deep. I finally made it to a place that I dreamed. To the world, I'm a winner. Soon my soul starts to scream. Only skin deep. I wipe my face. I comb my hair. I speak my truth. Go down the stairs. Passing skin deep. I finally made it back to my why. To the folks that are confused, if I feel the need to, I reply. This work ain't skin deep. Your beauty is what takes you there, but your character will bring you back down to the root, with hands in the soil, reaching soul deep. That's all.
Thank you so much. This is a really powerful poem, and it's beautiful. And I just marvel at your talent, and thank you for gifting us with it. Yeah. And, to Jay, Tasha, Thandi Sizwe, Shomari, Adwoa, Davon, Sharon, Dr. Ayoka, Wiles and Bibi, Johnny, Joseph, Faline. Pronoun, I think pronoun is Malas. Is Mala, but I don't know. But M. Dayton, everybody that we didn't have a chance to hear your voices, Fred and Wild Seed and Iris, Margarida. Thank you so much for joining us on Clubhouse. And also everyone who is on YouTube, thank you so much for being here with us today. We've come to the tail end of our time together, but I do want to ask you to check out the link tree on my Instagram and Twitter account. And you'll find the link for you to learn more about Rooted in Love. That's the book that I am publishing. This is my first book. Tessa knows a little about it. I used to talk a little about it with her a couple of months ago. And I think some of you might already have a physical copy. Some of you might not. But it's just a beautiful piece of work, and I'm very proud of it. So go to that link, take a look, and let me know what you think. Today I have a couple of interviews actually here on Clubhouse around this book. One is going to be at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the One Vibe Africa Club. The event is called Idea to Impact. It's an event that has been going on Clubhouse for a while, and so they're hosting it in the One Vibe Africa Club, to interview me about Rooted in Love. And then the second one is at 4 p.m. in the Homies Crib. That's a club that was founded by Tiff Countryman, who we worked closely with to grow this daily African Proverbs concept. So join us, and I'll keep announcing when we have future opportunities. Tess, I'll let you speak for a moment.
Oh no, I was actually just clapping.
Okay, no problem. And Deborah, did you have something to say before we wrap up? Oh, I think she unmuted just by mistake. Anyhow, that was... Okay, go ahead, Deborah.
I just unmuted by accident. I apologize.
No problem. Thank you again for joining us. It's always beautiful to see how global our audience is. And my oldest sister lives in London. So whenever I have someone from London here for the Daily African Proverbs, I always ask myself, why has she never attended the Daily African Proverbs yet? And I have some family members that just say, oh, that show is too deep for me. I can't be there. So this is not for everyone, This is just for the people who have the character and are willing to live beyond the beauty, Anyhow, thank you so much. And Chioma, thank you again for taking the time. Your support means a lot. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello.